So who wants to know what a human meat market looks like? A virtual meat market. Anyone? Well, if you do, I personally don't. The idea of that makes me feel sick. But if you do, you are in luck. Today, you are in luck because we're going to find out just what happens in an Acti Labs Power Hour. Exciting. So, before I go on, Acti Labs, multi-level marketing company, predominantly skincare, makeup, weight loss products, the usual crap that nobody particularly wants. Two directors, James Hilliard Miller, Christopher Hilliard Miller. I believe they are father and son. Christopher Hilliard Miller appears to act as managing director and appears to be the most prominent director. So I'll be referring to him as Mr. Hilliard Miller. If you aren't on my Facebook page, go and take a look at my Facebook page. There's a lot more going on between me and this individual. And I go through it all on my Facebook page. But in the interests of sticking to the point of this video, I'm not going to go through that today. What I will say is I've spoken to him on the phone and I've spoken to the lady on the phone who is leading this Power Hour. So, speaking to Mr. Hilliard Miller on the phone, he was very insistent, very insistent. It was something that he was most insistent about, that he did not want, and he did not like the idea that vulnerable people were being drawn into his organisation and being exploited. That was something that he claimed made him extremely uncomfortable, and it's not what he wanted. When I sent him a video clip, an Acti Labs promotional video clip, where people from Acti Labs were there like, I was once a single mother, oh, and look at me now, which couldn't have preyed more on single mothers if it tried. I sent him that and I said, look, this is a disgrace. This is preying on single mothers. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say every single mother is vulnerable, but the single mothers that get into MLM tend to be vulnerable. There tend to be people who, you know, they need money, they can't work because their children are too young. And I explained all this to him on the phone and he didn't like it. He wanted only people to join Acti Labs who had their shit together, who weren't vulnerable, you know, and weren't in a desperate situation. I told him I didn't think that was in any way, shape or form realistic, but it didn't change his mind. He still said he doesn't want those people. And that's why I'm so shocked by what I've got to show you today. And I'd like him to see, because unless he was completely and utterly lying to me, you, Mr. Hilliard Miller, will be as equally as shocked as I am when I show you what goes on in your company's power hours, because it's disgusting. It's it's a disgrace. And it's everything that you said you didn't want for your company, right? Now, the woman directing the Power Hour, when I spoke to her on the phone, I told her what I thought about Frazer Brookes, and she was in agreement with me. And they both said that they didn't use the guy. And that's why I was so amazed when the Power Hour seemed to be torn straight out of this piece of crap by Frazer Brookes. By the way, this is all lies, and I've got it all in I'll put the link in the description. All lies. Frazer Brookes has never done anything in this book. He built his network marketing business off the going around the world with his dad and being the #1 first person in the company, along with his dad, who's been in network marketing for 30 years and knows all the people that he needs to know, all the corrupt people that he needs to know to tell him about these things. And the company that he first got started in was about to be closed down for being an actual illegal pyramid scheme. It was called Shopping Genie. It's all in the videos. 2-part series, a full expose. They knew about those videos and they said, yeah, you know, we don't use them. Obviously that's not quite true. Anyway, we're going to go on. In the interest of saving time, we're going to go on. Now, I thought for a bit of fun, have a little bit of fun, what we'll do is we'll make a little tally of vulnerableness. A little tally of vulnerableness. And every time we can we get a vulnerable person, we're gonna tally up, see how many times the vulnerable people are targeted in this power hour. Now, I'm going to put things there and the tally can go this side. Right then, we begin. And this lady's name is Hannah. I won't say her full name. Let's start with some interaction. Go to the stories at the top of your newsfeed. Click on See All and it will bring up all of your friends' stories. Scroll past the first few pages as those are the people you usually talk to. Watch 10 story clips from 10 people you don't usually talk to. React and send a comment too. End it with a question to encourage them to reply. Reply to my comment with an emoji so I know you're done. Then they go down, they're all enthusiastic. Done. Right, next one. 2. I want you to write a list of 3 to 5 people that you know could benefit from extra money and the reason you think an additional weekly pay would help them. Now, I just want to stop for a second there. Yesterday, I read out a screenshot from the Acti Labs community group. I couldn't go into as much detail as I wanted to because my kids started going crazy. But cut a long story short, the woman that had posted a comment in the community group was badly struggling, like they all are in the 99%. She was being very honest. She was really struggling and she wanted to know why she was not smashing it like everyone else. And I answered her. So we know that pretty much all the people that have got involved in this power hour will be struggling to make sales. We don't know it with 100% certainty, but we've got a good idea that they are. Anyway, she goes on. Or perhaps they are people you just love to work with. Post their first name and the reason in the comments below. Let's hold each other accountable. So she, first of all, is telling them to reveal their friends' names and their friends' private information about them. She's telling them to do that. She's telling them to do that, right? Now, the first one is just, I'm not going to say the full name of the potential victims, but the problem is that the first name of this lady is really unique. So anyone who goes into her friends will know who this is. Kay, single mum with an autistic daughter, can't work because of needing to be her carer. Right, so I think we've got 2 there. Single mum, disabled child, can't work. Jay, getting married next year, only works part-time. M, on a massive weight loss journey. So we've got somebody who obviously needs money that they're going to convince they're getting married next year, and the fat friend, the friend that you've observed who, because listen, most people who are very overweight, they will say every now and again on their thing, maybe I've done Slimming World, so, but it's this whole thing, isn't it, of like, you've got a fat friend on your Facebook and you just, she's on a big weight loss journey, I'll get her in, I'll make her feel like shit about herself. So yeah, we've got single mum, disabled child, needs extra money, fat friend. There we go. This next person has said the full names of her friends. She hasn't even just said the first name, and Hannah hasn't even told her to not do that. She hasn't said like, oh, don't put the whole name. Delete your comment and can you say it again without saying their full names, because this is people's personal information. This is people's private lives. She goes on, this woman, JD. She may be interested after her son's baby has come home. WP, she doesn't work, so unemployed. RK, she showed an interest and she wanted information from last power hour. So this is another person that she's pestered and pestered and pestered. And Hannah says, awesome. No, don't put the full names. Awesome. Task 3 will help you with R. I'll give you some wording ideas later to help you with W and J. You know, we need to bear in mind that Hannah has never been where these people are, ever. From what I gather, she got in the company early, got in with the owners. Now she works in corporate. She had downlines granted to her, people put underneath her, you know. The next one. S. Bad knees, not working due to the pain and COVID. Disabled. E. Pregnant, off work earlier than planned. So, I mean, that's new mum, isn't it? I mean, that's even a bit disabled, but what's new mum? D. Just had a baby, has been interested before. I mean, all these people has been interested before. If they were interested, really, they would be doing it, you know? And if you go in any job site and you say about, you know, the job, what it entails, it's what could you give to this company? Why would you be good for this job in sales? And you'd say, well, I'd be good for a job in sales because I'm really outgoing. I don't have a problem with talking to people. I'm very chatty. I'm good at selling, and you know, I'm bright, whatever. So why is it that the first thing that the people in the Power Hour are saying about these potential recruits is their status in regards to whether they're a single mum? Why has them having a disabled child? Why has, right, somebody's health, somebody's marital status, if they're disabled, why have any of those things got anything to do with a sales job? Why? You know, I mean, we go down. R, always say she has no money. P, I'd love to work with her. C, just had a baby. Salon owner. Why is her just had a baby more important? Shouldn't that just be C? She's a salon owner. You know, why is her just having had a baby got anything to do with how well she'll sell these products? How? Why? What? You know? Next one just says it all. T, a mum has an illness that stops her working and on a weight loss journey. Absolutely nothing to do with her ability to sell, her ability to get out there, her ability to convince people, her ability to present products. Nothing to do with that. She's a mum, she's disabled, and she's fat. Get her in, get her in. J, single mum to 3 girls. Can't work, unemployed, and has depression. So, single mum, unemployed, disabled. Get her in, get her in, get her in, get her in. Oh, a mum, pregnant and wants to earn money. New mum, new mum again. Nothing about how well she'd sell products, nothing. It's not important. It's not important. Those things are not important in the MLM world. The only thing important in the MLM world is how vulnerable you are. The more vulnerable, the better. Get them in. Are you vulnerable? Yes, I am. Get into Acti Labs. We want you. We want you, vulnerable people. Can you see this, Mr. Hilliard Miller? Can you see what's going on here? You said to me on the phone that you wanted people who could sell products, right? You wanted people who looked good, sounded good, confident, right? Is this what Hannah's not telling them anything. She's not saying to them, well, we don't care whether they're a single mum or not. We don't, maybe like the most depressed people, you know. She doesn't say any of that. She's just going to give them more tips to how to convince these very vulnerable people to get in your company. She wants them in. She wants the vulnerable people in. Do you want them in? Because if you don't, if this makes you as sick as it makes me and it makes everybody else who's seen them, then you really need to speak to Hannah and every one of the top reps, because as far as they're concerned, this is normal. This is normal. This is what they're after. This is what they're after. And that's why I said to you, they're not going to be happy when you say you want to bring a test out to prevent these people from coming in. Because without these people, you haven't got a company. Next one down. L, saving for a wedding. A, school mum who is a part-time childminder, has done network marketing before, and asks me a lot of questions. All I could think when it said that she'd done network marketing before, I was like, well, she doesn't do network marketing anymore. She asks you lots of questions. If she wanted to do it again and she wanted to be involved, she'd say, let me get involved. She's asking you lots of questions because she's got out. She's out. She's out. She knows what you're going through. And she probably doesn't know you well enough, being a school mum, to sit you down and say, listen, I've done this. I've been where you are. This is not going to be good for you. But she's probably chatting to you and she's like, oh, well, you know, this and this. Maybe asking you questions that you might ask these things yourself. Kay, stay-at-home mum, already loves our products. Again, why aren't you just saying, Kay, she loves our products. She'd be great. She'd be great because she loves our products anyway. So she'd be able to sell them, wouldn't she? Why has her being a stay-at-home mother got anything to do with it? Anything to do with it? That's another one, isn't it? Stay-at-home mothers. There we go. L, works part-time. She just needs to believe she would smash this. The next one. A, she loves her makeup. M, she wants to lose weight. So, okay, fair enough. She loves makeup, you know. The next one, she's fat. Yeah, she wants to lose weight. Obviously, fat. Of course she wants to lose weight. Can't be happy. Can't be fat and happy, can you? Impossible. Possible. Here we go down. Now, this is the lady who was the boss of my 600 that was in my team getting involved. E, she is outgoing and is great at marketing her own business. D, now so that's fair enough. Look, you know, she's got her own business. She's outgoing, you know, great at marketing her own business. That's a fair enough one. Then she goes down D. She's a single mum and has used our products. Why is her being a single mum? You just say, she's used our products already. She might like them, you know, maybe I can get her in. Her being a single mum, if you weren't preying on the vulnerable, right, then her being a single mum wouldn't be important. We wouldn't see this on here. Can you see that, Mr. Hilliard Miller? Can you see that this is important? So these women know that being a single mum is going to get them in. Get them in. It's just a single mum. She's a single mum because single mums are prime targets. The most prime targets, single mum and disabled people, or is a disabled child and can't work, lonely, vulnerable people. So, where are we now? C, already interested in the business side of things and uses a lot of the products. Another one, fair enough. But they can't resist. When they've got the single mum in their sight, that's it. It's, I've got a single mum. He couldn't sell products for shit, but she'll probably buy ones of her own, won't she? Just to make us all happy because we'll all pretend to be her friend. And she needs friends because single mum, she can't go anywhere. You know, God, she already feels shit about herself. We'll just tell her how amazing she is. She'll be in. Next one, G. She's in the fitness industry, but lockdown hit hard and she had to take a second job to help. I mean, we know that there's a 99% failure rate. Anyone who saw my live yesterday, where I read the screenshot out for the woman struggling, you know, these people are all going to be struggling themselves, right? And it's a delusional lie that they're all feeding themselves, that they're not struggling and that they actually are earning money working in this. 99% of people joining MLM lose money or make no money whatsoever. Make no money whatsoever, right? M, she is a new mum and is just on maternity pay currently. Another one, new mum. K, as she has lots of vet bills to pay and can't work now, and can't now work because of helping with her dad. So I'm gonna hazard a guess that her father is disabled and that she is his carer. So we'll talk about the carer cat, caring for a disabled. It's not a child, but we'll stick it in. Just carer for a disabled family member. There we go. Can't work. Can't work because she has to do the most gut-wrenching and heart-wrenching task of having to care for probably what was once a very proud man, probably who was once a man who cared and loved her, who was a hero to her, and now she has to care for him. And you're going to go in with your Acti Labs, aren't you? Here she is. She's back again, Hannah. There's no kind of like, we don't, the vulnerable people, but no. Task 3 will help with D. I'll be sharing some wording and help invite the others later. Well done. She's congratulating them for it. Well done. All these vulnerable people. Amazing. This is what we're after. This is what we're after. Not what Mr. Hilliard Miller says we're after. We don't want people who've got their shit together. We want the vulnerable people, and you found them. You've scoured your friends list. You found some of the best ones. D. Because she has a salon, which is a great resource. Yeah, let's just rinse her salon. Let's fill her salon with our crap. Now, let's bear in mind that she's seen her friend posting all this stuff, and she will have never have said anything to her. I mean, these people that live in this world that they don't think that their friends have not only seen what they're doing, but pitied them. And if they're not pitying them, they're laughing at them. But yeah, she's a salon owner. Yeah, this woman with a legit business, right? With a legit business, which is now, well, this was a week ago, which would have been reopened. She thinks that she's going to go and buy the Acti crap. I mean, these people are off another planet. It's pure delusion. It's pure delusion. It's delusion in the purest form. Okay. Because she's a single mum of 2, and I would love her to have some me time. What? She's a single mum of 2, and I would love her to have some me time. She's not going to get any me. You're working in Acti Labs. She'll never get any time ever again, and her kids won't get any of her time either. She'll lose all the me time, and the kids will lose all the mum time. Every time I've done a live, right, when my kids are still up, they're in the back, they don't let me, right, because that's kids, right? You have to cut things short, right? You know, I don't know how a single mother is going to do this business realistically, because you need them to go live all the time, right? And they're going to have kids there, unless they're doing the lives in the evening when the kids are in bed. But the time in the evening, that they should be relaxing. That's their me time. That's their me time, right? They don't need any amazing products. They just need a cup of tea and Netflix to have some me time when you're doing it all on your own. Because I am not a single mother, and thankfully I don't bear the burden on my own. But I know a handful of ladies who do, and they couldn't care less about your Acti crap, right? And you're going to tell them, you're going to guilt them, but you want a future for your children, this for your children, it's all for your children. No, you will ruin the relationship with their children, because they will have to train their children. They will have to train their children to just not talk to them. Because I've got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. Right, out there, I've had to stop this a couple of times because they just come in as kids alike, you know. Are they going to have to train those children to just, you can't talk to mummy, can't talk to her, she's working. She's ruined the relationship between how many single mothers, how many new mothers and their babies. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And you know it because it's happening to you. If you're in Acti Labs and you've got kids, you know what it's doing to the relationship with you and your kids. You know what it's doing. You know. Even if you don't go live morning, noon and night, you still know how difficult it is. Have some me time. No joke. Kay works part-time at a school. Just had her hours cut. S. Was interested at Christmas, but not the right time as mum too. poorly at the time. If she was interested, wouldn't she just get back in touch with you? Aren't you putting things out there all the time going like, does anyone need money? I mean, these people, I was thinking to myself, were the friends interested or were they going on about it? Because they're in this brainwashed world, and the polite friend that's kind of like, oh, that sounds good, sounds amazing doing your own thing. Oh, it's not right for me at the moment. They're that deluded that they've lost all concept of social cues. They don't realise that those friends were never really interested. They were just being polite. They were like, oh, I'm a bit ill at the moment. Like, maybe when I get a bit better. No, they're never interested. If they were, they'd come to you. They'd come to you. You're saying every day how amazing this is, right? They can see that. If they're posting, if they're on your Facebook, that's in their newsfeed. If they haven't come to you, they're not interested. You going to them is just going to make it that they can never ever talk to you again, because they're scared that if they come and chat to you, or if they have to ignore, if you write them a message and they choose to just ignore, oh, I'll just answer it later, and they have to ignore it, they can never message you again, because they know as soon as they message you, that the message that they never replied to will pop up, and they will feel awkward about why they never replied to that. Can you see this? Can you see how this alienates people? I am telling you the reality, right, of attempting to recruit people using these ridiculous techniques. Using these absolutely ridiculous techniques. Because this is not how people build downlines. This has never been how people build downlines, right? People build downlines by building followings. You don't need to start this with a following, but you need to build a following, right? You need to build one. And if you can't do that, if you cannot get on those cameras and be fun and be out there, do your makeup tutorials, do your skincare all the time, if you can't do that, you cannot be successful in this. All this crap, it's exactly what it is. It's crap. It's crap. It's lies. It's all lies. It's lies. It's lies. And to have people plastering their vulnerable friends' names all over this, these victims, it's an utter disgrace. Mr. Hilliard Miller, you should be absolutely disgusted. You should be as disgusted as I am. And if what you told me was true on the phone, you will be. You are. You must be. You must be. A works from home, making light-up bottles. So could potentially do this alongside. She's working at home making light-up bottles. She's creating something of her own that people will be buying. You want to waste all her time with this crap? No chance in hell. No chance. None. Oh, had her hours cut. Been asking for ages. I want her. Been asking for ages. She wants her. So more vulnerable people who are losing money. V, pregnant with second child, about to go on maternity. M, shown an interest before and not working at the moment. If she's shown an interest before and she's not working at the moment, wouldn't that have been the first thing she'd have done, is come to you? No, you'll have said this to her before, when she's like, oh yeah, oh, maybe in the future. You know? What's happening? She's pregnant with a second child and you're going to try and get her into Acti Labs. Do you know what maternity leave means? Do you know what maternity leave means? Do you know why people take maternity leave? They take maternity leave so they can spend time with their baby, so they can spend time bonding with their baby, so they can spend time being with their baby without having to worry about working. That's why people take maternity leave. So why you would imagine, why you would think in your wildest dreams that she would then want to have the most stressful job in the world, where she will earn no money and it will destroy the relationship with her and her baby, her new baby, is a mystery to me. It really is. Next one, L. She's a nail tech. Well, if she's a nail technician, you think she's going to want this crap? One of my best friends is a nail technician, and she, obviously in lockdown she couldn't, but when she's out of lockdown, she earns a fortune. You know, for goodness sake, get real. B wants to move out of her parents' house. Well, she definitely will. Her parents will definitely want her to move out when the relationship is completely destroyed. When you get her involved with this crap, because you tell her that she can earn money that you know you're not earning. C, has a little one and is using the product. You know, a mum, H, has a disability that makes it hard to work. So let's get her into the most stressful job. You know, can you imagine? Why would you be good? A real sales interview. Why do you think you'd be good for this job? Well, I have a disability and it makes it hard for me to work. Can you imagine? What? I would be really great for this job because I have a disability that makes it hard for me to work. You see, like in the real world, how nuts this is, how mental this is. It's not mental to them though. If they're the more vulnerable, the better. She's disabled. She finds it hard to work. We can guilt her. We can tell her she'll earn money. We can have a DLA stick it in on our overpriced products or tell her she needs to use them. You need to be a product of the product. If you want to make it work, you should invest in your business. And then Hannah's back. Task 3. Do you have people that you have previously spoken to about launching a business with us that haven't signed up yet? Did they want to think about it but haven't ever messaged you back to say yes? Well, yeah, that's going to be nearly everybody that they've asked about this that did respond back. It's like, oh yeah, like maybe in future, you know, and then they obviously have never got back. I wonder if Hannah is that delusional. No, surely she can't be. Well, she's never built her business this way. Let's go through our potentials list and drop them a message to see if they're ready to join. Here's a message example that I would like to send them. These messages are the spam that ends up in the anti-MLM groups, the ones where they're ridiculing the reps. This is it. Hi Jenny, how are you? Did the kids have a nice Easter break? I just wanted to pop you a quick message to see if you were still interested in getting started with Acti. I know we spoke about it a few months ago and perhaps it wasn't the right time, but is it something you're still considering? We have our new launch in a few months, and if you are still wanting to do this, I'd love to help you get a head start before the launch. I mean, this is the message that gets this is one of the messages that will get screenshotted and will land in groups where it will be completely and utterly ridiculed. Completely and utterly ridiculed it will be when it lands in those groups, and they'll all jump on, completely ripping it out of the person who sent it. That's the reality of when you send that message, or it will be ignored. If it's not ignored, it will be screenshotted and plastered in an anti-MLM group where they'll ridicule it, or it'll be ignored. Or they'll get back and say like, oh yeah, make up some bullshit excuse. Nobody is ever going to be brought into Acti Labs with a message like that. Nobody, not one single person. If they are, prove it to me. Prove it to me. I want to see somebody that's joined Acti Labs that's had a message after a message like that you haven't had to lay into with every love bomb going. Nobody. And if you're trying to, I want the evidence if they have. I want you to show me. I want you to show me that message, and then somebody has gone, yeah, sure, I'd love to, and then they're in. I want all of the evidence. Never worked, never happened. Task 4. I want you to think of your biggest Acti achievements so far, but I'm not talking ranks, sales, leaderboards, etc. here. I'm talking about personal goals that your Acti Labs business has helped you achieve. Whether that's a purchase your commission paid for, a day out you were able to treat the family to, a debt you've managed to clear. Each of us have our own personal achievements to share. First, I want to create a status about it. Take full credit for the goals you've achieved and congratulate yourself. Add a photo too. Secondly, I want you to share the link to that status right here so that we can come and celebrate you too. So she wants everyone to write ingenuous messages because I don't think, 99% of people won't have been able to pay for stuff because, you know, they will have at best earned no money. the products, the main products that will have got bought will have been through raffles, and you know, they've bought them themselves, so they're probably all there. And they're gonna lie now. They're gonna lie. They're gonna lie, and they're gonna post the link to the lie in here, so everyone can congratulate them on the lie that they've just told all the people on their Facebook. Task 5. You're going to start 5 new relationships tonight. Steady. Go into that personal interest and hobby groups that you are already a member of and join in with conversations. Have fun, make friends, forget about Acti. Like, that's going to happen. It's all they're going to be thinking of. Because they wouldn't have done this otherwise. They're only doing it for Acti. Who goes and does all those things unless it's for their MLM? Reply to people's comments, show a genuine interest, and ask questions to encourage the conversation. Once you've been chatting back and forth a few times, send them a friend request. Make a note of those 5 new friends you have sent. Like, go in groups, and this is again Frazer Brookes. Go in groups, right? Hobby groups of people, you know, chatting about things, and do things that you're only doing because of Acti Labs. Because if you were genuinely going to do that, you'd have done it anyway, and you'd have all these people. And basically, go in these groups and pretend to give a shit about the people you talk to. Pretend to give a shit about their life. Pretend to give a shit about the hobby that you apparently share with them. Pretend to give a shit about any of it. Just pretend. Pretend and reel them in. Chat to them. Pretend to be their friend. Pretend everything. Because it's all fakery. It's all nonsense. It's fake. You're doing it for one reason and one reason only, and that's to get them in your downline. But there's a process. You need to groom them first. Groom them. And then add them as a friend. Do a friend request. Because they're not going to allow you to be friends without having thought that you were genuine. Look, this one. She's going for it. So they're really enthusiastic. They think she's done this. She hasn't. She's never done this. You've never done. Hannah, if you've done this, if you've ever done this, show us the screenshots. They'll still be in your Facebook Messenger. You show us the screenshots with dates and with... Hannah, if you've done this, you can easily prove it. You can easily prove it. Let's see what you wrote. Let's see what you really wrote. If you've ever done this to people and it's worked, do the screenshots with the dates. We want to see the screenshots with the dates. And we'll know if you photoshopped it. No, screen record it. Screen record it. Just make it blurry down the bit with the name. But so we can see that the real date. Screen record it. Because I don't believe you. Screen it. Show us how you did it. Show us how your conversations went with those people where you did the spammy messages. It's a problem. You've done it yourself, haven't you? You haven't, have you? You've never done this. You have never, like Frazer Brookes never had. You never have either. You're a liar. You've never done this stuff. You are deceiving these people into believing that by alienating people on their Facebooks, they are going to grow their downlines like you have. This isn't how you grew your downline. You know this isn't how you grew your downline. Why are you doing this to people? Is it really that good, the money? Do you love Mr. Hilliard Miller so much that you just do anything to make sure that his income is coming in thick and fast? Mr. Hilliard Miller, this is an absolute disgrace. And if you don't think that this is an absolute disgrace and everything that you said on the phone about who you wanted in your company is an outright lie, proven fact, because you'd be outraged by this. You'd be outraged by this meat market. Outraged by it, you would be. Task 6. Remember that list of people you wrote above in task 2? Well, tonight we're going to message them. So all the people, all the vulnerable people, the single mums, the disabled people, the carers, all those vulnerable people, we're going to message them. We'll do it together. I'll give you an example of what to say, and we're going to find out if they'd be interested in working with you. Here's an example of what I would send. Hey, Grace. Obviously, you know I've been building my online business with Acti for 8 months now, and it's already helped me pay off that credit card I had. Well, I was thinking today, have you ever thought about doing this with me? I know you'd be great at it. It would be so much fun us doing this together, and the weekly commission would help us save for our girls' holiday next year. What do you think? Like this idea. So you've got your vulnerable people, you've got your people who are most vulnerable, most isolated, most in need of friends, and it's this us and we. See what I mean? It's this like, and it's all about, well, be in my downline, and you'll get some attention off somebody. We can do this together. You know, it's so disappointing. Task 7. Next up, and don't disappear on me, but I want you to go live. No longer than 5 minutes to talk about why you're so excited about your business. What is your favourite part of it? What are your plans? What do you feel inspired to do after seeing others in the business do the same? It doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need a script. You just need to be real. Go for it. Do you know, and I don't think she does, because I explain this to people all the time. It's just making a video of yourself and putting it out there is one of the most gut-wrenching. And this is the thing with me. Luckily, when I made my very, very first video, it was on my personal page, and I shared it into a small mums group. That video then got shared because it was a public, so that I could share it. My intention was always for it to only be shared in the mums group. Now, if somebody wanted to share it here and there, but I had no idea that my first video, which was answering the questions from a copy paste, it was the one before my Truth About FM World video, I didn't realise how far it would be shared out. So that kind of thrust me into the bit, you know, more the public arena than I would have done initially off my own back. When I then made the Truth About FM World video and that got shared far more, again, that thrust me even further. Would I have ever have made those videos if I'd have realised how out there it would have made me? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to be honest with you, probably not, because it's such a nerve-wracking thing. And I'm a fairly confident person. I'm not an inhibited person, right? But for me to even start doing lives on my page, and that was after months of making videos that I could edit and put out when I wanted to, it's bloody nerve-wracking. It is a psychological barrier, but it's certainly not for everyone. You go live frequently. You don't know how that feels, or maybe you do, but do you remember how that felt for you the first time? You are going to ask these people, never gone live before, and you just tell them, you've got to go live. You've got to go live. You've got to go live now. Ain't gonna happen. And it doesn't. Look, the first one. Can I do the live? Can I do the live tomorrow, Hern? As I'm currently upstairs with my little man, getting him to bed for school tomorrow. Well, she won't be, because she's looking at your power hour. That's an excuse. Next one. I'll do my live tomorrow. I haven't been sent the other ones, but I'm going to hazard a guess that they're all the same kind of things. You know, telling people to go live. And you're getting people in on these things. Oh, you don't need a downline. You don't need this. You don't need that. You just need... They sell themselves. The products sell themselves. They're an amazing company. Loads of people want to join. Task 8. Start a conversation with those that watched and commented on your live. Don't go straight back in and ask them to join your team, but start by thanking them for watching you and for their support. Then you can move on to asking if they've ever thought about doing what you do. The only people that will be watching the live will be people that are so shocked that that person's even gone live that they're just watching it for the spectacle. They're not interested in the Acti Rep. The fact that they're selling the crappy MLM stuff is just, you know, no one's going to comment on it. They're just going to watch it. Bloody hell. They might have that sweet friend that's like, hi, Hern, oh, looks good. You'll spoil that friendship, because then they'll message that person, and then that person will be like, can't message you again, can't comment on your live again, can't do anything again, because you're going to try and sell to me or recruit me. Can you see how this alienates people? I'm on this one. am I on it with all of it so far? But I will do my live tomorrow. I literally never go live on my main page, so super nervous. And I look like a total mess right now, so we'll do it when I have my makeup on and feeling more awake. And next one. Hi, I do any live tomorrow on it. Then do this last bit. Hope that's okay. Been in a pain with the missus today. I mean, these are just people that are now making excuses up about the live. You took it too far telling them to go live. You took it too far there. This brings us to the end of tonight's Power Hour. The live was like, you're losing your audience now. Thank you so much to everyone that joined in. Remember that new friendships, conversations, and thank everyone so much to everyone that's joined in. Remember that new friendships, conversations, and asking that question are key to recruitment. Grooming is key to recruitment. No. Nothing that you told those people to do is key to recruitment. Everything that you told those people to do was grotesque. It was grotesque. It was so grotesque. You have encouraged people to plaster vulnerable friends' names all over this group, all over this thing here. You've encouraged them to do that. One lady wrote full names, right? You never told her not to. You never deleted it, right? The information that they shared, right? These people won't have public Facebooks. The information that those people that they shared that information about shared would have been private information for their Facebook friends only. And they plastered it all over that MLM group. So I don't see them as people anymore. I don't see them as human beings anymore. They're not human beings anymore, because this is what the MLM does. Stops being social media, it becomes MLM media. People stop becoming people. The only use people have to people in MLMs, the only use people have is by if they can be recruited and they start putting the money in. If they can't be recruited, then they're pointless people, because the world and life is no longer about being a friend, being a good person, giving a shit about people for genuine reasons, and it's all about feeding a pyramid, climbing a pyramid, and growing a pyramid. That's all it's about when you're in the MLM. And this disgusting set of shit screenshots that I've just read out. Mr. Hilliard Miller, what have you got to say about this? This is what Acti Labs Urban Retreat by Acti Labs is. This is it. That's why I said to you what I said to you about your urban retreat, because you cannot get away from vulnerable people. This is your bread and butter. This, and if you decide to incorporate urban retreat, which is they've bought a spa in Knightsbridge opposite Harrods called Urban Retreat, and as far as I'm aware, the intention is to combine this day spa with Acti Labs, and you know, these very, very vulnerable people will be showcasing the Urban Retreat products. And I said to Mr. Hilliard Miller on the phone, and I make no bones about it, I said, you're going to combine single mums on universal credit, disabled mums, disabled people, disabled carers. You are going to combine some of the poorest, most vulnerable people in our society with Knightsbridge and Harrods and Urban Retreat and day spas. Ain't gonna work. That's my opinion. There are more videos about Acti Labs coming. Many more. I hope you enjoyed this one.